My name is
Evelyn Natasha binti Muhammad Arshad.
Before we begin, let me briefly introduce the contents of our presentation. We will discuss the previous and current representation system in Malaysian local government, including their merits, demerits, the role of councillors, the transition period, comparison between both systems, areas of improvement, and finally the conclusion. Now, good morning everyone. Today I will be presenting on the topic distinguishing between the previous and the current representation system in the local government. Local government is the third tier of government in Malaysia and operates under the authority of state government. It plays a vital role delivering in public services such as waste management, road maintenance, urban planning, and public health. An important aspect of local government is representation system, which determines how councillors are selected to represent and serve the local community. Over the years, Malaysia has experienced a significant change in the system. 1965, the country moved from the unelective system, which councillors were chosen through local elections, to an appointed system where councillors are appointed to the state government. In this presentation, we will examine both systems, we'll compare their strengths and weakness and discuss possible improvement to enhance local government in Malaysia.
Previous representation system, elective system. As mentioned earlier, local government plays an important role in providing services and managing local affairs. Before the current system was introduced, Malaysia used the elective system as its local government representation system. Under this system, councillors were elected directly by local residents through local government elections. It was introduced through the Local Authorities Elections Ordinance 1950, which aimed to encourage democratic participations at the local level. The first municipal election was held in Kuala Lumpur in 1951. This gave citizens the opportunity to vote for individuals who would represent their interests in local councils. Through these systems, residents had a direct voice in local governance and could choose representatives who understand the needs of their communities. As a result, the elective system promoted democratic participations and encouraged greater public involvement in local decision making. Now that we understand how the elective system works, so let's move to merits of elective system. There are several important advantages of the elective system. Firstly, it provides strong democratic legitimacy because councillors are chosen directly by the people. This means they have a clear mandate to represent the community. Secondly, councillors are accountable to voters. Since they are elected by the public, they are expected to listen to community concerns and respond to local needs effectively. Thirdly, the system encourages civic participations. Citizens become more involved in local affairs because they have the opportunity to vote and influence local governance. In addition, elected councillors often have a better understanding of local issues because they are closely connected to the communities they represent. Last but not least, the elective system helps increase public trust in local government. When people are able to choose their representative, they are more likely to feel that their voices are heard. Therefore, the elective system is often viewed as an important mechanism for promoting democracy and community engagement at the grassroots level.
So let's move to demerits of elective. There are 5 demerits of elective system. The first is political conflicts within council, because councillors were elected through political parties. As a result, council meetings sometimes focus more on party interests than on solving communities' problem. Next, delay in development projects. Political disagreement between local council and higher level of government often delay development projects because road repairs, drainage upgrades, and waste management improvement could take longer to be completed. The third is administrative fragmentation. Different local authorities had different roles and level of resources which led to unequal public services in different areas. The fourth is financial instability in smaller councils. Many smaller and rural councils face financial difficulties because they had limited sources of income and depended heavily on government grants. This affected their ability to maintain infrastructure and carry out development government. So lastly, which is high cost of conducting local election. Conducting local election required a large amount of money for voter registration, polling station, and vote counting. This created an additional financial burden on the government.
So now, I will explain the role of councillors under the appointed system. Unlike the elective system, councillors are appointed by state authority rather than elected by local residents. Their main responsibility is to assist in implementing government policies and also ensuring that development plans are carried out effectively at the local level. They also monitor local service delivery, including service such as waste management, maintenance, and also public facilities to ensure that they meet community needs. Furthermore, appointed councillors also participate in council discussion and provide recommendation on local issues and development matters. Another important role is coordinating between state and local authorities to ensure that policies and projects are implemented smoothly. Therefore, councillors under appointed system focus more on administration and also policy implementation while support efficient local governance.
Next, let us look at the transition period that changed Malaysian local government representation system. In 1965, local elections were suspended by the government. As a result, Anti-Nahapan Royal Commission was established in 1968 to study and review the local government system. The commission recommended the restoration of local elections and proposed several reforms to strengthen local governance and increase public participation. However, these recommendations were not implemented. Instead, Malaysia continued moving towards an appointed system of representation. This transition eventually led to the enactment of the Local Government Act 1976, also known as Act 171, which formalized to the appointment of councillors by...
Now, I will explain the current representation system. There are 5, which is the first. The current representation system is governed by the Local Government Act 1970 or Act 171, which provides the legal framework for local government administration in Malaysia. Number 2 is council appointed by state authorities. Under the system, council are appointed by the state authorities rather than being elected by the public. The third is no local government election, which is unlike the previous elective system, local government elections are not held, so citizens do not directly choose their local representative. The third is council consists of mayor or presidents and appointed councillors, which is each local council consists of a mayor or president together with appointed council who help manage local affairs and public services. The lastly is focus on administrative efficiency and policy coordination. This system focuses on administrative efficiency and better coordination between state and local governments to ensure policies and development plans are implemented consistently.
Now, I will explain the merits of the appointed system. First is a faster decision-making process. The appointed system allows a faster decision-making process since councillors are appointed and not elected. The council can make decisions more quickly and carry out projects without delay. Then, a better policy coordination with state government. The appointed system has better policy coordination with the state government. This is because the councillors work closely with the government, making development plans and policy easier to implement. Next is to reduce political conflicts. The appointed system can reduce political conflicts compared to election. There is less political competition and fewer disagreements among councillors. Fourth is to allow appointment of professionals and experts. Another is that professional and expert can be appointed based on their qualification, experience, and skills. This helps improve the quality of decision and administration. Lastly is to improve administrative efficiency. The appointed system improves administrative efficiency because councillors can focus more on managing service and solving community issues effectively.
Now, I will discuss the demerits of the appointed system. First, no public participation in councillor selection because councillors are appointed by the state government rather than election by the people. Second is reduced accountability to local residents since councillors are mainly accountability to the state government. They may be less responsive to local community needs and concerns. Third, risk of political patronage, which is appointment may sometimes be based on political loyalty instead of merit, which can affect the quality of local governance. Fourth, the lower democratic representation. The system provides lower democratic representation because the citizens do not have the opportunity to choose their local representative. So lastly, public may feel disconnected from local governance because they have limit involved in decision making and the selection of councillors. That's all from us.
So now, I will explain the role of councillors under the appointed system. Unlike the elective system, councillors are appointed by state authority rather than elected by local residents. Their main responsibility is to assist in implementing government policies and also ensuring that development plans are carried out effectively at the local level. They also monitor local service delivery, including services such as waste management, maintenance, and also public facilities to ensure that they meet community needs. Furthermore, appointed councillors also participate in council discussion and provide recommendations on local issues and development matters. Another important role is coordinating between state and local authorities to ensure that policies and projects are implemented smoothly. Therefore, councillors under appointed system focus more on administration and also policy implementation while support efficient local governance.
Next, I will compare the elective system and the appointed system. First is councillors elected by citizens and councillors appointed by state government. In the elective system, councillors are elected by citizens through local election. However, in the appointed system, councillors are selected by the state government. Then, the high public participation and limited public participation.
The elective system has high public participation because citizens can vote and choose their representative. In contrast, the appointed system has more limited public participation. Next is accountable to voters and accountable to state government. In the elective system, councillors are accountable to voters because they depend on public support. Meanwhile, appointed councillors are more accountable to the state government. Fourth is a strong democratic representation and a strong administrative efficiency. The elective system provides stronger democratic representation because it reflects the people's choice. On the other hand, the appointed system focuses more on administrative efficiency and smooth management. Lastly, is a political competition exists and better policy coordination. The political competition usually exists in the elective system and may cause conflicts. However, the appointed system has better policy coordination and cooperation with the government.
Finally, let us discuss on some areas of improvement for Malaysia's local government representation system. One possible improvement is the introduction of a hybrid system that both elected and appointed councillors. This approach would allow local residents to elect representatives who understand community needs, while also enabling the appointment of professionals and experts who can contribute valuable knowledge and experience in the local administration. In addition, public participation should be increased to ensure that citizens have a greater voice in the local government. Local authorities can achieve this by encouraging community engagement programs and creating more opportunity for the residents to provide the policies and the development projects. The important improvement is the organization of regular town hall meetings. These meetings will provide a platform for councillors, local authorities to communicate directly with the residents, discuss local issue and gather suggestions from the community. Furthermore, transparency in decision making should be enhanced. Local councils should make the information on budgets, development plans and council the decision more accessible to the public. Greater transparency can help build the public trust and confidence in local government. Lastly, independent oversight mechanism should be strengthened to ensure the accountability and good governance. Regular monitoring and evaluation can help the prevent misconduct, improve efficiency and ensure the local authority can act the best interest of the community. By implementing this improvement, Malaysia can create a local government that is democratic, transparent, accountable and more responsive to the needs of the citizens.
To conclude, both the elective system and the appointed system have their own strengths and weaknesses. The elective system emphasizes democracy and representations because citizens have their opportunity to elect their local representative. This encourages accountability, public participations and stronger community engagements. On the other hand, the appointed system focuses on efficiency and stability. It allows for better coordinations between local and state governments and can support more effective administrations. However, both systems also face certain challenges. The elective system may lead to political conflicts, while the appointed system may reduce public participations in the election councillors. Therefore, a balanced approach may improve local governance by combining democratic representations with administrative efficiency. Most importantly, effective councillors are essential regardless of the system used, as they play a crucial role in serving the community and ensuring the success of local government. That's all from us. Thank you.